You know, if you were to ask a kid in school the name of the Attorney General, I'm willing to bet no kid, but okay, put it another way. 2 out of 10 kids would not know. That's still wrong. Most of the 10 kids would not know the name of our Attorney General. But don't think your kid be dumb for that. I bet you don't know the name of our Attorney General. I don't. Why should I? The Attorney General doesn't want us to know who she is. You would think, I said she, or he is. You would think an Attorney General would want this little town that we call a country to know who is St. Lucia's Attorney General. But that's almost a classified secret. How about the DPP? We hear a lot about the DPP, all negative. But I wonder how many people know the DPP's name. And I suspect that's the way she wants it. But say Victor Lecorvainier to anybody, the vendors by the market, the people under the former MNC, whatever you call it now, Blue Coral, everybody has heard of Mr. Victor Lecorvainier. And it's not because he's the Minister of Justice. It's not because he is a senator. They may know him for those things too. But even before that, Victor Lecorvainier had made a certain amount of fame. Victor Lecorvainier set a record in this country by pulling a gun on some guy in a constituency that he was trying to represent in Parliament. You got that right. A potential constituent caused Lecorvainier to pull his gun out. Surprise, surprise, he lost the election. Surprise, surprise, he was the guy that Kenny Anthony, everybody was talking about. He was grooming to replace him. Well, he's in the news again. He was in the news not so long ago when he threatened on radio to sue Timothy Pollard. He's in the news all the time making up excuses why a report concerning the investigation of our police is about 6 months overdue. And he's in the news again. He is in the news again. Because a couple of weeks ago, the government of St. Lucia, the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, came to the House complaining that the previous government had guaranteed loans without the approval of Parliament, which is contrary to the law, which is illegal. In other words, the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance came to the House a couple of Tuesdays ago with an illegality committed by the previous government, and he was now seeking the House's permission to make that illegality right. Did I hear you say impossible? In St. Lucia, anything is possible. So there was a whole hoo-ha about this, and of course the ayes always have it. But a lot of discussion followed that. How can you belatedly have the House to guarantee a loan? There's no law that refers to belated guarantees. There's a law that talks about getting prior approval of the House before you can guarantee loans for anybody. So belated guarantees is gobbledygook. So everybody was waiting for what would happen when it came to the Senate. And I have to give Claudius Francis, the president of the Senate, a lot of kudos. I suspect if it were left to Claudius Francis, he would have declared the whole enterprise illegal. I suspect. I'm not saying he did say that. There was this big argument going on about everything other than what was before the House, before the Senate. Whether the Senate was going to belatedly guarantee loans taken by the previous government without government approval. And finally, the president turned to the leader of government business, who happens to be still a Corbinier, to ask him where does he stand on the legality of belated guarantees. And Le Corbusier said to him, I have not been advised on that, so we'll go ahead with it as the lower house did earlier on. So if members of parliament made a mistake, don't be surprised, because don't forget, Kenny Anthony, who is Prime Minister, and a constitutional lecturer on the constitutional law, passed a number of laws that turned out to be unconstitutional. So I'm trying to tell you, he's not infallible. Nobody in the House is infallible. Attorneys general everywhere make mistakes. But Mr. Le Corbusier simply said to the President of the Senate, I've not been advised on that, so I'll go along with what went on in the lower house. Mr. Le Corbusier is supposed to be a lawyer. Mr. Le Corbusier is supposed to be a former AG. Mr. Le Corbusier is a Minister of Justice. So the illegality went down again. Now, how can anybody, after that kind of stuff goes on and those illegalities, turn around and talk about young people going to prison for smoking a spliff? How can you talk about young ladies doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing so they can eat? That happens to be illegal. Is it any wonder we're in this mess we're in? This mess that has been going on for years and years and years? I say to you, St. Lucia, again, rise up out of your sleep and put an end to this nonsense, or we're all dead.